use the phrase on top of, and then something will follow it. When paying attention or managing a situation, on top of is also similar to in addition. You say one thing and then you want to add another thing on top of is useful for that. And of course, on top of is also used for a location. There's a thing, and then something is on top of it. Here's on top of. In this video, I'll focus on these two meanings, and this one is useful because you do have to talk about where something is. Where is it? It's on top of the house, or it's on top of the car, or it's on top of the table or the desk. This indicates the location. On top of, and then here is the thing. This would be a noun. On top of it. But the first meaning for on top of that I want to focus on in this video is when a person is paying attention or learning about a situation that's happening now. Or we use this when managing a situation. If a person is on top of it, he or she is taking care of the problem or paying attention to the situation. We also use this when a person is learning something new or watching how something changes. I'm on top of it. Or you'll often hear things used in place of it, whether it's more than one or just one. You can say, I'm on top of it, or I'm on top of things. He's on top of, and then just use the situation. Are you on top of what's happening? Are you paying attention? Do you know what is happening? Do you know what is changing? Are you on top of what's happening? Or instead of what's happening, are you on top of the news? Or are you on top of what changed? Would be a possibility. Are you on top of what changed? Or are you on top of the changes? When something changes, are you on top of the changes? Or are you on top of what changed? It's important to stay on top of the news. This could be anything that's happening in the news, locally, nationally, or around the world. Or you could just say it's important to stay on top of what's happening. It's important to stay on top of world events. It's important to stay on top of what's happening here in the United States and around the world. I'm on top of it. Don't worry, I'm on top of it. Or just, I'm on top of it. This is to reassure someone who's concerned about a situation. Don't worry, I'm on top of it. I'm in control. I'm in charge of the situation. When you use on top of, you're really using two prepositional phrases. Here's the first one, on top, preposition and noun. And then here's the second one, of, and then here would be a noun or a pronoun. You can also use a gerund in this position. I'm on top of it. So here is the pronoun following of. But I think it's useful to consider all three words together. Notice also that the verb be often comes before on top of. I'm on top of it. Change the subject to he. He is or he's on top of it. And the plural using they are or they're on top of it. This would be the situation. You also hear the word things, whether it's one thing or several. They're on top of things. This would be a reference to a company or a government or some other authority that has responsibility for managing a situation. They're on top of it. I think they're on top of it. You can put something before each one of these sentences. I'm sure they're on top of it. Or I think. Or I hope they're on top of it. Or on top of things. Each of these expresses a belief that someone or a group of people are on top of things or managing a situation. I'm sure they're on top of things. I think they're on top of things. Or I think he's on top of things. Or I think I'm on top of things. That's another possibility when talking about yourself. If you believe that you're on top of things, then just say, I think I'm on top of things. Or I hope I'm on top of things. And if I'm on top of things, then I understand what's happening. In some cases, a person loses control of a situation, and that's when you'll hear something like this. Get on top of it. This is a command. This is the imperative form. The subject is you. But just say, get on top of it. Or, you have to get on top of it. Or, you'd better get on top of it. This is, you had better. Just use the contraction, you'd. Or, you should get on top of it. As a prepositional phrase, on top of is very similar to in addition. You give one fact and then want to give another fact. On top of working at a full-time job, and then there's a comma here because the sentence begins with a prepositional phrase. Here, by the way, is a gerund. Gerunds often come after on top of when they're used this way. On top of working at a full-time job, comma, she's also raising 3 teenagers by herself. So if you want to think about this visually, here's the situation. I suppose we can represent the situation this way. And working a full-time job is here, and then this is on top of working a full-time job. Which situation is more difficult? This one or this one? Perhaps they're equal. But one way of thinking about this is working the full-time job, and this is raising 3 teenagers by herself. On top of this, she's doing this. On top of making dinner, she also cleaned the house. After on top of, here is a gerund. Remember that a gerund is an ing word. This is an activity. So again, visually, you could represent making dinner making dinner with this, and this is cleaning the house. So on top of making dinner, she cleaned the house. Which one of those things was more difficult? They could be equally difficult. In this sentence, on top of is in the middle. We were hungry on top of being very tired. Or you could start the sentence with, on top of being very tired, we were hungry. In either version, the meaning is the same. I hope this video helped you. If it did, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to this channel.